Hello everyone, my name is Ash, you'll know me as Brommer18. Today we are continuing our build up for FIFA 23. I want to talk about the most recent patch release that may actually have quite a lot more implications to it and huge implications to it than what we actually think. We're going to get into it today with the new patch notes of the title update that has been released for FIFA 22 by EA. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome along. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are pre-existing subscribers, you'll know that obviously I haven't uploaded for quite a while, so I do apologise for that. I did come down with COVID, did knock me about quite a bit, so we've had a little bit of time off. But thankfully, after a fairly lengthy break of a few weeks, we are back. We are back, and hopefully we can get back into it. So thank you so much for sticking along. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. We talk all things FIFA on here. Do go and check out all the stuff down below, such as the links to all of my different playlists on FIFA, as well as a link to our Patreon. Lots of great sort of perks on there for anyone who is subscribed. And on that note, without further ado, let's get into it. So then, EA recently, or as of kind of today of recording this, they've announced this kind of patch update. Now, usually these are kind of generally kind of minor changes, nothing too much to focus on. There's some decent tweaks here and there, but this time around there's slightly more to it, and I want to talk about whether or not what we're seeing here is essentially kind of a soft release for the FIFA 23 beta coming up. And as a consequence of that, why this actually may have major repercussions for not only FIFA 23, but kind of the future of the franchise as well. But we'll get into that in a moment also. So first things first, let's quickly go through the patch and talk about it. So what do we have? Well, for a start, shooting has been kind of tweaked, in particular knuckleball shots. They're getting quite a big kind of changes and fine-tuning, etc. So there's a lot of changes to them. They've actually shared some examples here as well that they've kind of posted. We'll have a quick look at that. As you can see there, it's kind of the flight and the trajectory that they're changing as well. On top of all sorts of stuff like that, we'll have another look at this example. As you can see, it's more in slow motion this time. You kind of see that dip and stuff that you can also get on it. On top of that, they've introduced a new skill move, which is fairly rare occurrence. That a lot of people were also surprised about this, and this is one of the reasons why we want to talk about this soft kind of FIFA 23 beta release. We'll come on to that in a little bit or so. Shot blocking, that is absolutely crucial. A lot of people, myself included, talking about how the AI blocked too many shots. The majority of shots kind of just blocked kind of the surface area and the radius of which they can do that is too much. It's overpowered. So they've tweaked that, and they've reduced by apparently a significant margin, as they're saying here. On top of that, we've got more shooting changes, low driven shots this time. They've increased the accuracy of the low and mid kind of range, and powered low driven shots as well. And on top of that, they've also made tweaks to the tackling, and they've actually significantly decreased the range required for a defender to attempt a tackle without being requested to do so. So as you can see here, in something that they're kind of really kind of pushing out is greatly increased significantly. And they're making these not so much tweaks, kind of making major changes and fine-tuning you know, certain features. And what I want to talk about here is basically a lot of this stuff would generally at this time in July be saved for FIFA 23, but they're kind of making this now. So one thing we talk about is, are these going to be kind of some of the main features that we see with the gameplay for FIFA 23? Is this now kind of a soft release and then kind of testing the water to see how the sort of players react to that? On top of that, what I also want to talk about is this kind of something where for FIFA 23 we're only going to see kind of minor gameplay changes? I mean, we get them anyway, but they like to push them out as major. Are we only going to see those kind of minor gameplay changes for FIFA 23, and they're going to save kind of the big hitters for next year when they ditch the FIFA naming license and it becomes EA Sports FC 1 or 24, whatever it may be? So that's something perhaps we should be a little bit concerned about. Are they kind of saving it for the future? And also something that I want to kind of talk about briefly here is it also a case of, this is a fairly hefty patch compared to what they usually do. Are we kind of entering something where with EA Sports FC, with the release next year, do we maybe see live updates and kind of a live service as opposed to paying for the game every year. You know, they've spoken about this, they've flirted with this a lot of times in the past. Particularly the higher ups and the suits in EA have often said they feel like live service and us games is the way forward. You know, we see it with EA Play and stuff. Are we kind of getting the first look into a FIFA or an EA Sports FC game where you're not paying kind of the £60 for the base game once a year? Instead, you've got kind of like a rolling subscription or a live service game, etc. And that's how they can justify kind of the regular patches instead, and they don't have that kind of hard release. This is something I also want us to kind of consider, because I'm fairly certain this is the kind of direction we're going in, and I feel like this is the first kind of step to that, to kind of certifying that. Again, it plays in with the whole FIFA 23, them not kind of hitting it out of the park and saving it for EA Sports FC when that comes out in 2023 next year. So it's something that I think we should be wary of. We'll keep an eye on it as well. Also worth bearing in mind that as of the time of recording this, we've heard nothing about FIFA 23. Not much stuff has been confirmed, only a couple of things. No trailer so far. Usually we've got a trailer at the start of June at E3, at EA Play. So we've not got that. So again, it's something worth bearing in mind. Is this kind of something where FIFA 23 is going to be cast aside a little bit and the big build-up is going to come for EA Sports FC next year? What do you guys think? What do you think about the overall patch? Are you pleased with the kind of updates that they're bringing and the things that they are tweaking? And as a result, do you think that maybe we are onto something here with regards to FIFA 23 being a little bit worse off and stuff being safe at EA Sports FC? Are we kind of seeing the FIFA 23 beta in action now as a kind of soft release? Let me know in the comments section. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'd love to hear from you guys. So do give me everything you've got. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, you appreciate the information and you want to see more. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notifications every time I upload. Don't forget to check out my other playlists on the channel, lots of FIFA playlists going on, and also check out my Patreon, lots of great perks on there. Do go and check that out, the link is down below. On that note, we are going to round it off there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.